Hi guys, I'm going to be talking to you about drama. And in high school, it seems that it gets worse. So based on my personal experiences with drama, I didn't have it in elementary school. I was the happiest kid ever. I had no drama, I had a bunch of friends, and by this point, guys are not jerks, because they haven't hit puberty. And girls are just like the nicest things ever, and they compliment you. They don't put you down. Or at least in my elementary school, they didn't. Okay, but let me say this. In junior high, you hit that point where guys aren't the nicest people they can be, and girls don't exactly compliment you. They're kind of trying to put you down, which is cool. Well, not really, but it's just how some people are. It's junior high. You're going to deal with those kinds of people. You're just going to have to learn to live with it. But in high school, it gets worse, and it gets nastier, meaner, and it's not okay. Like, I knew in 7th grade I had the hardest time adjusting, and I just wanted to go back to elementary school so bad, because I was pretty much tormented in 7th grade. It was pretty bad, because I had really bad acne where it was pimples on top of pimples, and I couldn't get rid of them. And it was embarrassing, and it hurt really bad, and I was in so much pain all the time because of my acne. And it wasn't the fact that I had acne that bugged me, because I had acne in 6th grade, but I had like 1 or 2 pimples here and there. It was the fact that people would tease me about it. And then I kind of realized, oh, okay, it's not elementary school anymore. Thing was, my mom didn't teach me how to cover it up. She mostly just kind of left me alone and didn't help me at all. Which I guess was kind of the point where we just kind of weren't as close as we were, because my mom was like my best friend, and I had her, and that's all I ever needed in elementary school. But I had like tons and tons of other friends and people. Okay, but my point is that it's different when you hit junior high and high school, and it gets harder. And at some point you're like, okay, there's drama. And sometimes it's drama that's not necessarily needed, but it happens, and you're like, okay, well, we can see why there's drama. We can see why everybody's like clashing heads. But in other cases, it's like, oh my god, that is so retarded. What the heck? Come on, open your eyes. That's retarded. What are you doing? Okay, so I'm going to share with you a couple personal cases that has happened recently. And it's not my drama particularly. It's other people's drama that they suck me into. Okay, so I'll start before 9th grade. In 9th grade, or before 9th grade, the summer before, I was really close to this girl, and we'll call her Susie. And then we weren't friends, and we kind of broke up. But the reason that we weren't friends anymore was not because our parents didn't like each other or anything like that. It was mostly because, okay, her mom didn't like me because she would tell her mom, oh, Ashley's a hoe, she did this, she did that, and tell her that I was stealing her boyfriends. Well, okay, she had a couple of online boyfriends, not at the same time. Well, in 1 or 2 cases they were at the same time, but most of the time they weren't at the same time. And she'd always be like, oh, talk to this guy, see what you tell me what you think, tell me if he's a good guy or you think he's a player, blah, 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 blah. And she wanted me to become friends with them at first. I was like, okay, cool, I'll talk to him, I'll see what they say or anything. And me and that guy would become friends, and we'd talk. And he'd develop a crush on me, and I'd be like, okay, well, you know, I like you too, but you're with my friend, I'm not even going to go there. And then she'd get all mad at me because that guy liked me. I can't help if a guy likes me. Like, well, I can't help it. And she's like, well, you have to be flirting with them for them to like you. No, you don't have to be flirting. You can be nicely talking to them and treating them like a good person and not fighting with them 24/7 like she was doing. And, so that kind of broke us up. And then, because I wouldn't kiss her butt and apologize and everything, and after so many times, it kind of got on her nerves or whatever, and she was like, okay, well, if you don't do this, this, and this, then we can't be friends. And I was like, well, if you're gonna, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing anything, but whatever. And I'm like, okay, and if this is gonna happen every time you get a new boyfriend, then we can't be friends, because this isn't gonna work out, because I can't help if somebody likes me. If they like me, they like me. It's the point that I'm not going out with them behind your back that takes me off, because you're acting like I do and that I'm just a scumbag. And she's like, okay, well, then we're not friends. And I'm like, fine. And she was like my best friend. I hung out with her every day of the week and everything, and it really, really hurt. And I wasn't at the best place at the time in my life, and I struggled with it. And I had this guy that I was becoming really close to, and he was always there, and he helped me get through it, and I thought it was kind of cool, and because he's like my best friend and my boyfriend now, so yeah. But he kind of showed me, because we talked about everything, and I'd share everything with him, and I tell him everything, and he got to the point where he'd help me work through it, and he'd tell me like what was reasonable and what wasn't reasonable, and what I shouldn't have put up with, and that I wasn't the person that she acted like I was, and that her putting me down was wrong, and that I was better than I believed I was. And it helped me mature, and it helped me see through all the player lines and everything that guys would just dish out and like would win my heart with. And it helped me see through the drama and see what was okay drama and what was not okay drama, and it helped me like separate myself from that. And needless to say, I have cut many people out of my life, and I had a really hard time with it, but at the same time I'm kind of glad that I did. And so when now I have like 2, 3, 4 good friends, and then I kind of keep the other people at distance and kind of on like probation, because it's not okay. If they're going to keep doing what they're doing, then no. Okay, so then I have this other friend, and we will call her Bianca. Okay, so me and her became friends after one of the guys that Susie was dating online had a crush on her too, and they had to kind of have a thing, and then at the same time, he was dating Susie. So me and her kind of became close because I kind of helped her see through the player lines and everything. And then I totally stopped talking to that guy, and she was kind of talking to him, but kind of not. And then I guess he got off, and we wasn't on for like months. And then I guess he got back on like 3-4 months ago, and she started talking to him again, and they became really good friends, and recently they started dating. Okay, well, there was a lot of things that he promised Susie, and him and Susie were engaged, and all this kind of stuff. And when they broke up, like him and Susie would break up, and I think they broke up like 10 or 12 times, and they were on and off. And then they finally broke up and everything, and he bought her a ring and everything, supposedly, and sent her pictures of it and everything. And so Bianca knew all this, because he was hitting on like 6 or 8 people I know from my school. Stupidest guy ever, but he was doing it, and I knew about it, and every one of the girls that were, like, at my school knew, because they all knew each other, and we were all good friends. So, even though she knew everything that went down, absolutely everything, she was just like, oh, well, I really like him, blah, 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 and I was like, okay, well, if you really like him, that's fine. Go out with him. If you like him, I'm happy for you, but, you know, whatever. I'm not going to, like, hang out with you guys or anything when you and him are hanging out. So, I guess last night, her and him met and went to the movies, and she wanted me to go to the movies with them, and I told her no, and she threw a fit because I wanted not go with her, and he hurt me, okay, because after me and Susie weren't friends and everything, and a couple months afterwards, he started talking to me and everything, and when I would not go out with him and I just wanted to be friends, he said a lot of nasty things, and I didn't want to put up with it, so I blocked him off of every thing I had, like my Facebook, my MySpace, and just blocked him. I would not talk to him, and deleted his number and everything. And so I totally stopped talking to him, and I did not like him. And I told her, no, I don't want to be in this relationship. I don't want to be the third wheel. I don't want to have anything to do with him. And she got kind of mad. So I guess that, like, Wednesday or Thursday, I was going to talk to her about the whole thing with him and everything, and I wanted to warn her and talk to her, and just because I didn't talk to her when she wanted me to talk to her, she went off of me and started cussing me out and everything, and the next day was, like, hugging up all on me and everything, and I kind of was like, no, back off. So, on Friday, they were making fun of her, and the people I sit with at lunch, they don't like her, and I'm, like, the only one that's still friends with her, and she was sitting with my other little patch of friends, like the next table over or whatever, and they were saying that she had lice and everything, and I was like, you know, you guys are making this crap up. She dyes her hair. Dye's supposed to kill your hair. Not kill your hair, kill your lice. I'm like, you guys are lying. There is no way she has lice. She would tell me, because she's hugging on me and everything, and I talk to her every day. And so I was kind of worried, because I don't want to, like, have to cut my hair all off or anything. And so I pulled her aside when she came and hugged on me and sat down next to me, because, like, people at my table that were, like, anywhere near her kind of got up and moved. So I kind of pulled her aside and asked her if she had lice, and she was like, no, I don't have lice. Who said this? I'm like, Bianca, I am not going to tell you, because I know that you are going to say something or start something, because she's one of those girls that are just love drama, and just, it's always in it. There's not a minute that she's not. And she's like, no, I won't say anything. And I'm like, okay, you promise? And she's like, I promise. I'm like, you pinky promise? And she's like, I pinky promise. And we pinky shook on it. And a big thing with me is that if you break a promise, then it's you breaking my trust, and I don't want anything to do with you. And she's like, okay, so I told her who told me, but they weren't the people who started it. It was some other girl that I know, but I would not give her name. I'm like, they were not the people who started it, but I'm not telling you who started it, because if I tell you, then they're going to know I'm the one that told you, because I'm the only one that's still friends with you, and you're going to start a whole load of drama. It's only going to cost me more trouble than all of the other trouble I'm already in with drama, because of all my other friends pulling me into it. So she's like, okay, well, whatever. And she's like, well, what else were they saying? And I told her, and she was kind of going off and real mean and nasty, because they're like, she's like, if you're the best friend that I think you are, then you'll tell me. And the thing is that I wasn't even really best friends with her. Like, she was my friend, but I don't have a bunch of best friends that are girls, because they cause a lot of drama. So I think my best friend is, like, my friend Sophie or my friend Ray.